Hey everyone, it's Crypto Chris from Crypto Power Tips here. I am bringing you a video that will be primarily about Zuka Coin, the new lending platform that's currently in ICO at the moment, and how it differs in some bits to Davor. Now, just a bit about Davor, in case you have no clue. Davor has been maintaining strong in the sustaining itself in the lending platform scene, even through the fall of BitConnect. Um, and we haven't seen much issues. You know, they went through their problems when they were getting DDoSed, and they managed to pull through that, and even managed to pull through the large price drop that happened around the time of BitConnect's fall. So they've been holding up strong, proving their sustainability through the worst of cases. So you know, we're going to compare Zouk Coin to Davor in that nature because we know that Davor has been around for roughly 60-ish or around days. So yeah, Davor announced on October 29th on their social media anyways, and then launched their ICO a week later on their Twitter account. It was you can find the you know, the announcements, of course, but ultimately speaking, we have Davor and its in all its glory to compare against a new coin. So I'll be going through most of this briefly because all of these platforms are relatively the same and there's only a few minor differences between them. So we'll just go over a couple of those things. Before we begin on that notion though, I want to discuss a couple of more important things regarding Zouk Coin. It was registered on December 29th of this year, so that puts it at maybe 3 weeks ago that the domain was registered. So yeah, and then we have 3 or 4 days after it's registered, we have Crypto Daily. Well, not 3 or 4 days. Sorry, a week after it's registered, we have Crypto Daily here talking about it on his YouTube channel, which suggests to me that Zuka Coin approached YouTubers, many YouTubers like Crypto Daily, and possibly offered them money to talk about their platform on their YouTube channel. So you take that as you will. I can tell you just from what I know of watching Crypto Daily's channel that he typically doesn't talk about lending platforms that often, and when he does talk about centralized company platforms like cloud mining companies like Cashflare or lending companies like BitConnect, he often has a he's leaning towards resentment against them because of how they work in their nature. So for him to have mentioned Zouk Coin in the way that he did, and as light as he did, and not as negative as he normally would have with anything else, it kind of begs the question: was he paid to shill Zouk Coin? But this is not a bash on Crypto Daily. It's just a sign of what Zouk Coin is doing. Again, if they're paying Crypto Daily, they're most likely paying other YouTubers to talk about their platform. So are there other people being talked about? Are there other people talking about it? Well, at the time, on January 6th, no other YouTuber was talking about Zouk Coin, only Crypto Daily. So they probably paid Crypto Daily a pretty penny. As I can imagine, this is quite common. We see it in the YouTube space, people getting paid to shill things. Not, you know, it's their YouTube channel. They can do what they want. No, nothing against Crypto Daily. I think he's, you know, a fantastic YouTuber, makes really great content. But we see that Zouk Coin is reaching out on its social account to other YouTubers here. Crypto Chick, who you can look into her yourself, but she's basically a pretty face and not much research behind it. Not even really a social following. But you go to her YouTube channel, she has basically 3 videos and 25,000 subs, so you can factor that in as you will. But it's quite clear that Zouk Coin is reaching out to YouTubers, much like other lending platforms reach out to YouTubers. There's nothing new with that. So it gives you a kind of a perspective on what capital they've been putting up and what efforts they've been putting into getting their platform launched. We see here that the announcement of Zouk Coin was January 4th. The ICO was launched January 15th. We are now January 19th. We can find that here. No, not there. No. Roadmap. And then here we go. Zouk Coin launched January 15th. Closes February 15th. But this close will happen a lot sooner once the coins are sold out. So maybe in a couple of days the ICO will launch. The ICO will close, and then the internal exchange will launch, and the lending will launch in turn. Which, you know, Davor did very similar fashion, except that Davor is on external exchange, and Zouk coin is not on external exchange, and to this point has not named that they will be on an external exchange. Though they have stated through Q&As from other YouTubers that they will be attempting to get on, or they are actively in contact with people with external exchanges to you know, have their coin listed, but they have not made any comments on which ones they're contacting or which ones that they will be listed on, because I guess to up to this point they have not had any luck in that manner. So that's Zouk coin. And then we go to their roadmap is not very ambitious. If you read and you really understand these tidbits of information, are very basic things that any platform should have. Whereas Davor's roadmaps, I mean, it just looks better. Although they probably didn't design this, it just looks better, and what they're trying to achieve is far more ambitious than what Zouk coin is trying to achieve. But you know, you take that as you will. And for the most part, everything else on their website reads well. I mean, most of this is just cloned information. One thing I can point out that is different here is that their capital release is 190 days across the board, and this is extremely important in terms of sustainability, because on Davor the capital lock returns are much shorter for the higher tiers, and this is very dangerous. This is similar to what BitConnect had, although BitConnect lasted 2 years, mind you. And through many naysayers and, you know, harsh statements, BitConnect lasted. And it's just that sustainability, we want as much sustainability as we can so that we can build interest that rivals our capital lock. Again, if you're getting into these things, you want to get into them early, and you want your interest to be high gains day to day, but you can only reach that if the capital locks are extended for everyone playing the game. So it's better for the company if the capital locks are extended, which Zouk coin clearly understands. And that's basically the surface level. You can check the social medias on Facebook and Twitter. People aren't really having any issues. If anything, there's a fraction of people claiming that their transactions are unconfirmed, but that's basically Bitcoin. And if their transactions are confirmed but the website isn't displaying them, you can only imagine that they probably sent their Bitcoin to an address that doesn't exist, or the wrong wallet, and that's chalked up to human error. As you can see, there's not many posts on their social media account, and if they were having errors, like significant amounts, because they've already sold off almost 2 million of their coin, if there was a significant amount, if there was a legitimate reason, there would be many more responses here on the social media accounts. That's just how these things normally go. If you check the Telegram, you can see that it's very active, very active. So, and most of it's just people in here, lots of people, it's going to go to the moon and all this crazy nonsense that you normally hear from people. But yeah, we have Davor announcing on October 29th and then launching their ICO November 6th. So that's a week between announcement and launch. And then we have 2 weeks between announcement and launch on Zouk coin in similar fashion. So, you know, it kind of shows when you look at their design and you look at what they're trying to do with YouTubers, it kind of shows. They put a little bit of effort. They're trying to, at the very least, secure a good first impression, and they've achieved that with a nicely designed website. As minuscule as that is, it's actually quite important in comparison to all the other platforms, because although they had although some of them may have had nice designs, they still, you know, had problems at launch, and, you know, there was other things that going on. But for the large portion, I would say that nicely designed websites and even dashboards represent maybe 1% of 99% of the amount of lending platforms that exist and that I've seen. So it speaks to me there. And their business paper, their technical paper, are basically rip-offs of their front page, so they didn't really spend too much time on these two things, which is probably why they have two papers to begin with, because one is just a rip-off of the homepage, and these assets here are very cheap. But if we go to their technical paper here, you can get to the sections of that matter: the premium profit and the Zouk faucet. Everything else is similar in what we see in lending platforms, so there's no point in reading those sections in this video, but I've already read those sections. You can as well, and you should. if you've got the time. But the Zouk faucet is basically going to be tickets and token prizes, which we have no idea what this is going to represent. So tickets and token prizes, I guess we'll find out what those things are when it comes out. And then the premium profit is a lottery system that picks out, a particular group of people to get interest gains. So again, this premium profit thing doesn't really speak to me that well, because they could always just randomly choose their own accounts. As you know, BitConnect had its own account in its platform, as other lending platforms surely do. So premium profit and the Zouk faucet are they're not that important. The faucet is probably edging out more importantly, because you don't really see faucets in lending platforms. You usually see them in gambling platforms to keep the gamblers coming back. And although everything in crypto is a gamble, not everyone sees it that way. So maybe this will attract the people that are, looking at the platform as more of an opportunity than just a gamble, because that's really what these platforms are. Now, if we get to the ICO, right now we're in the third round. 50 cents per coin. It's relatively cheap. You can spend a little bit of money and just hold. If it works out, you stand to gain a lot of money. If it doesn't, you stand to lose a little bit. So investing in the ICO comes with a high risk. Of course, you should look at your own portfolio and make your own decisions. I wouldn't advise one thing or the other. All that I ask is that you build your own strategy, set your own goals, and know what you're getting into before you make a gamble. Because when you're betting against a company, you're taking on a tall task, and not everyone walks away happy. So if you do, awesome. If you don't, at least you won't lose that much, because the shares are pretty cheap, unless you're throwing in tens of thousands of dollars, and if you are, you're probably crazy. So yeah, that's basically it. These platforms all work the same, so there's really no point in going through every single section. I can tell you that the support does not work here if you're not having an account. I tried to contact them. I had to make my own account, which was annoying. Luckily, they have their support thing here, so that I can contact them directly. And ultimately, I just made an account for the purposes of showing what it all looks like in the background and the dashboard. Again, their dashboard is extremely superior in comparison to Davor's. Not even just from the design. Like, the design alone already blows Davor out of the water. But the amount of information and how they choose to format the information, whoever developed this website understands user interface. They understand what users need to see and where they need to see it. And with other platforms, it's just not really thought out. Like, when you're building a website, you have to know what people are going to want to look for on certain pages. So whoever built this did it right, and whoever designed it did it right. Not so much with the Davor. Whoever looks like they're paying the most money to, the people are keeping the numbers in check with Davor, not so much the design or the dashboard. But as long as you're getting paid, it matters less what the design is, I guess. But yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, I'm both in Davor and Zouk, and I can tell you I had no problems depositing, withdrawing money with Davor coin today, and I've been in it for weeks, haven't had any issues. And similar with Zouk coin, I've been watching Zouk coin since it was posted by Crypto Daily on January 6th. But I just got into it today because I just said, you know what, it's there's too much in my personal situation. It's too much to pass up. It's too much money here. Although it's a huge risk, it's too much value that I could get out of it if it was to work out. So I took my risk that way. And yeah, I've been watching it since October, but got into it today, and I've had no problems withdrawing and depositing money into Zouk coin. I was able to send my BTC from Coinbase into Zouk coin and withdraw my BTC from Zouk coin back into Coinbase wallet. So their system is currently working, and they're planning on launching the ICO. They're planning on launching their internal exchange and their lending the very moment the ICO ends, similar to Davor. So I'm looking forward to that, and we'll see how it goes. You know, we'll see how it goes. If it falls, it falls. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Just make sure that you don't make any bad decisions. You don't invest too much of your portfolio. Always diversify, and you'll be okay for the most part. But that's really it. If you have any questions about this, you can hit me up in the Discord. Everyone's always in here chatting about not just lending platforms in general, but basically everything. Like we go over philosophy and ideology and every part of the crypto space. I post a ton of announcements in here, just important information that you definitely need to know if you're new. Um, like this one here is just a list of lending platforms that I'm looking into. The unsupported ones are the ones I've looked into and didn't like what I saw, and the supported ones are the ones that I did. Now I've got to update this list now that BitConnect has fallen, but you know, this is a pretty old list. This is back in this is about 2 weeks ago that I posted that. But yeah, you can go through the list here, and there's a lot of important information that's just posted over time, you know. And it's a pretty good community. We're growing pretty fast, so just take a stab at our Discord, see what you think, and you know, if you're already in this Discord and you're watching this video, what's up? Yeah, that's where I end the video. And oh, one other thing before I end the video, this guy Crypto Paul is one of the YouTubers that were paid, clearly, because if you look at his subscriber amount, 3.7K, and you look at his views, 750,000. You scroll down here, and the YouTuber says, why does this video have 500? He asked this 4 days ago. Why does it have 500,000 views? He said, I did the review, and Zouk purchased the Google ads. So they clearly fronted some sort of payment for this man to get this amount of views, which that is going to into this man's pocket. So, and Zouk is actively looking for YouTubers to promote the channel. I mean, to promote the platform on their channels. This crypto has 3 videos and has 25,000 subscribers. So yeah, they're definitely. I mean, maybe if you have a big YouTube channel, you can hit up Zouk and maybe they can send you some Zouk for promoting them. Apparently, that's what's going on. But yeah, that's basically it. Everything checks out so far. No real red flags other than they're not listed on external exchange, and they're not even saying which external exchanges they're trying to get listed on for whatever reasons. But everything else looks pretty solid. So yeah, you know, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, comment, check out the Discord, and yeah, see you next time.